I don't want to protect the environment. I want to create a world where the environment doesn't need protecting by unknown.
Great being here at TED. You know, I think there might be some presentations that'll go over my head, but the most amazing concepts are the ones that go right under my feet. The little things in life, sometimes that we forget about, like pollination, that we take for granted. And you can't tell the story about pollinators, bees, bats, hummingbirds, butterflies, without telling the story about the invention of flowers and how they co-evolved over 50 million years. When I heard about the vanishing bees colony collapse disorder, it motivated me to take action. We depend on pollinators for over a third of the fruits and vegetables we eat. And many scientists believe it's the most serious issue facing mankind. It's like the canary in the coal mine. If they disappear, so do we. It reminds us that we are a part of nature and we need to take care of it. Rarely seen by the naked eye, this intersection between the animal world and the plant world is truly a magic moment. It's the mystical moment where life regenerates itself over and over again.
A world without bees would also mean a world without our most important pollinators. Imagine a world without fruit, vegetables, and other foods that fill up our life. Where would we be without them? Bees pollinate around 70 of the 100 crop species that feed 90% of the population in the world.
The job of pollinators, such as the bees, is to transfer pollen and seeds from one flower to another, fertilizing the plant so it can grow. This ultimately produces food for animals to eat, including us humans, adding on to the food chain as well as biodiversity. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity is the variety of life in the world or any ecosystem. Contrary to popular belief, bees play an essential role in the food chain. They provide food by producing honey for humans and other animals and are also the food for predators like birds, wasps, and other species. Maintaining high biodiversity is necessary for ecosystems to survive.
Why are bees so important to our ecosystem?
Well, bees pollinate everything. Like 70% of all the food we eat comes from the pollination of bees.
Why are bees important to the ecosystem?
Well, they're important to the ecosystem because they help pollinate our plants. Yeah.
Why do you think bees are important to the world?
The bees are dying, and the bees are the number one pollinator in the world, and they help us make food and crops, and they add to biodiversity.
Why are you so passionate about saving the bees?
Well, we need bees for everything in the world.
I'm passionate about it because bees are a large pollinator in Washington, and without them, you're gonna lose a lot of your fruits and vegetables that require them.
What made you interested in beekeeping?
Well, it's kind of a thing, like me and my brother were really interested in it to begin with because we thought bees were pretty cool. So that's what I got started in it for.
What are some solutions to saving the bees?
Well, pesticides are what is killing bees, so we could all eat organic so that there's no pesticides or insecticides or whatever associated with your food. And you could also get houses, like mason bee houses. I have one if you want to see it. Let's go! Okay. Here it is. Oh, there's a bee right here. Just pollinating some plants. Okay, so this is the mason bee house, and as you can see, the little holes are packed in, and those are eggs that the mason bees have put in there, and then they packed it in. And so now it's time to pack it up until next spring when they will hatch and go out and pollinate all the plants.
Explain what this
I
is.
might say this is a beehive.
Nice.
Yeah. And these are some bees.
So what can I do to save the bees, you ask? Here are some words from our bee fan, Peter.
This is one of the bee-friendly plants that you can plant at your house. You can also plant lavender, yellow mustard, sage, and mint.
You may be asking yourself, what is causing the bees to die? One reason is the use of harmful pesticides. Pesticides used on various plants that bees pollinate contain chemicals that cause harm to the bees who are unable to function properly. Not only that, but the use of insecticides as well put bees in direct risk. These chemicals that are designed to kill insects and, as you might think, are clearly harming the bees and the environment they pollinate. You may feel like a little fish in a big pond, unable to contribute to the ongoing problem of a declining bee population. But fear not. Simple things can snowball into bigger things that will help the bees stay alive. Planting bee-friendly flowers provides them with more variety of things to pollinate and an easier source of energy found. Plus, it helps the plants reproduce as well. Supporting local beekeepers, farms, and not using pesticides is also an easy thing to do. By supporting your local beekeepers, you're providing money and support to provide for their bee colonies, which are then able to grow in size. Besides, fresher honey is better than honey sent from across the country. By reducing pesticide use or not using it at all also limits the threat of chemicals to bees, which is an unnecessary way to die. If you want to get hands-on, you can even keep your own bee colony or set up bee hotels for solitary bees. Though they may not be part of a colony, they still do their part in pollination and supporting the ecosystem. And if you see a lethargic bee on the ground, they may not be dead yet. All they might need is an energy boost, which you can provide by giving them sugar or water on a spoon. If you want, you can also provide a water source for bees by providing rocks, pebbles, etc. covered with fresh water in a basin. By putting the rocks in water, it prevents the bees from drowning while they hydrate themselves. In the end, spreading awareness is a simple but effective way to support the bee population. The more people know about the bees, the more things can be done in order to save them.
Bee facts. Get your bee
Bee
facts.
fun fact.
Bee fun facts.
Bees' jobs change depending on their age.
Nice.
Yep. Bees, if a bee eats fermented honey and returns back to the hive like bee tipsy, then there'll be a bouncer bee that'll kick him out until he's sober.
Wait, what?
The stinger continues to sting you as long as it's in you, because there's actually part of the organs that actually create the poison. Yep.
So let me tell you something about the bees. They pollinate the food that we need. So look up at the sky and ask yourself why the bees need to live in peace.